This episode is powered by Fuse Energy. Winter is all about energy. Switching on Christmas lights, warming your home for a cozy night in, keeping the TV on for all the festive fixtures.
And Fuse keeps things simple thanks to their fixed rates, cheap tariffs, and 24/7 support.
Better yet, Alan, Fuse is the fastest growing energy company in the UK, and you can play a part in building the infrastructure for clean, affordable energy by referring land to Fuse for renewables development. Not only will you claim your place on the starting lineup of the clean energy revolution, you can earn a £2,000 reward by referring 20 acres or more of land to Fuse for solar projects.
They're building a system that proves renewable power can be affordable, scalable in practice, and accessible to everyone, not just an idea on a tactics board.
For more information about land referrals and energy powering the full festive fixture list, head to land@fuseenergy.com. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. It's been an FA Cup weekend. It's thrown up, well, one of the biggest shocks we've seen in many a year, if not all time. As always, the third round throws up a few beauties. You were both doing the Tottenham Villa game, weren't you?
We were, but I mean, first of all, there was another big shock this weekend as well, wasn't there, Micah? Would you want to tell everyone about it? Come on, just say it.
No, I'd rather not, actually. Move on. Yes, well...
You can't not now, can you? You've got to say what it is.
No,
Force yourself to say, well done, Wembley Rangers, on the little game in the ball league. That's all you have to say, and we'll move on.
I can't. No, okay. I'll be the bigger person in this. The backstories to it, you know, Gaz, how it works and everything. But I bet that they wouldn't finish in the top four. That is Wembley Rangers. They got in the top four and then they had no chance of winning it on paper. You know what it was like? It was like when Greece won the Euros. What was it, 2004? That's what it was like. And they've only gone and won it. They play the worst football. And, yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Alan. That's all I'll say.
It's a bit like Macclesfield beating Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. What a place to start as well. Thanks, Micah. That's all we needed.
I mean, that is the place to start, I think. I mean, what a story. Incredible.
Unbelievable. Was it 6 leagues below? Is it 6 leagues? Something like that?
Six leagues.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Conference North.
Incredible. And the holders of the FA Cup going there and getting humiliated. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought they actually played well, though. It wasn't one of those ties where, okay, Palace missed loads of chances or whatnot. In possession, they looked composed, didn't really have much in the final third. But I thought Macclesfield were absolutely brilliant. You know it's going to be their final, so you know they're going to be up for it. But I thought they put some good, decent performances out there in terms of the way they wanted to set up. And they was just so aggressive. As soon as Palace got into their half, they didn't let them breathe one bit. And you know, on set pieces, what an absolute header that was. You know when you see something and you can picture it happening just before he's about to kick it and take it. And the way he shaped it up, and I forgot the lad's name, you'll remind me of his name who scored the goal.
Paul Dawson.
And he's got the tape round his head and his mate's just, and I was thinking...
He stuck it on, didn't he?
what a perfect shot that is. Yeah. He's definitely going to head this. I didn't think he maybe was going to score, but it was like a perfect one to get a connection on it. Really good ball in, and then what a finish it was. It was brilliant. But, do you know, just to go off topic a minute, take to the managers. I didn't know Rooney's brother was there.
I always told you Rooney would make a great coach, didn't I?
It was weird, right? Wayne Rooney, absolute legend of the game. And then you got his brother, and he's sort of gone under the radar a little bit. And Wayne probably didn't want to take his shine, which we all know that. But like on the sideline, if I was with my brother, I'd be giving him a hug. I'd be asking him, talk. He sort of like, he was so professional, Wayne. Wayne. I was like, Wayne, you don't need to be professional. Just absolutely enjoy it. It was mad to see.
You could see he was a little bit emotional though.
Yeah, he was a bit emotional, wasn't he? I mean, for all the big boys leaving, and we get used to it now, don't we? And it's perhaps more understandable than ever. But the stories about the big boys leaving so many players out and not taking it serious, and it's a cliche is that we all love the FA Cup, but when you see all the stories about the big boys and all that, and then this happens, it is amazing, isn't it? It's a great story.
I'll give you another cliche. This is what the FA Cup's all about.
Yeah. But it is, isn't it? It is. It's for those guys who have played football all their life and watched football all their life and love football to get a chance against the FA Cup holders who went to Wembley and beat Man City last year. And then for them to play Crystal Palace and beat them live on the television in front of God knows how many people was just brilliant. It's a great, great story.
Did you see my little... I'll give you a little bit before we was doing our show as well.
You
Did you see
dickhead.
that?
What a dick you are. I wasn't even going to mention that. I wasn't even going to give you the satisfaction.
I actually missed that game because I went to the theatre last night, which was great.
For once, for 20 years, I was thinking I don't have to put up with that shit about not winning the FA Cup before a game on the BBC.
Is that what it was? I was guessing that's what it was. Well done, Big Meech. Keep that tradition going.
And this prick decides to mention it just before kick-off.
Yes, I had you back, Gaz. And the difference was there was 2 trophies. It was something about the original one. Is that right,
That's it, yeah.
Alan?
Why were you not listening? You were in the studio. You were talking about it. You must know what it was about.
Well, I wasn't talking about it, but I basically saw a moment to get a gag on you. I was waiting for the right timing, so I wasn't listening to what Kelly was saying. I was just listening waiting for the right moment to get in there. And I just said 2 trophies, Alan's not won. And the timing was perfection.
It was,
and
yeah.
the thing is, though, I knew you was listening on the gantry because you always listen to our bits, you know.
Yeah.
So when you go into your co-coms, you look at, I like a bit of that. I'll use a bit of that. And I thought, there you go, Alan. There you go. Have that, mate.
I just wasn't going to give you this satisfaction, not even mention it. And Danny Murphy texted me because I could see my phone flashing just as I was about to speak, and I could see it flash up. And Danny said, "Did you hear what Micah said?" I just totally ignored him.
You blanked him.
I blanked him. Yeah,
blanked him. But it was a brilliant performance and quite poignant as well, wasn't it? Because obviously Ethan McLeod tragically died last month, who was part of that Macclesfield team. So
unbelievable, yeah.
The emotion in the crowd and everything afterwards, I mean, it's something that they'll never forget. And that's not just the beauty of the FA Cup, but also perhaps of football. It's hard to imagine that sort of thing really happening in many sports. And I think that's down to the fact that obviously it's not a high scoring sport. And if you can get a goal ahead or even 2 in their case, then it always gives you something to cling on to, something to hang on to. But I mean, the first goal we've talked about, the second goal was probably one of the scruffiest goals I've ever seen, but it doesn't matter a jot, does it?
It's a moment that they'll never, ever forget. And it's a moment that in 50 years' time, it'll still be talked about the day that Macclesfield beat the holders of the FA Cup in the third round. It'll be forever. It's never going to go away from those boys.
Well, before we move on, let's actually change this conversation to the guys who've actually won it, Gaz. Have you got early memories of... early memories of your FA Cup? And I'll go after you.
Well, I played in 2 FA Cup finals. I played in the first ever Merseyside derby and scored the opening goal, and then we got beaten 3-1. And that was bloody awful. But then winning it with Spurs, having beaten Arsenal in the semi-final, I might add. I mean, it was magical. And I mean, particularly when, I grew up, and Alan as well probably, that was way bigger than the league back then. The FA Cup was the thing to win more than anything else. And certainly in terms of the fans' perspective. And it was so special. I mean, I missed a penalty in that game and had a perfectly good goal disallowed. Gave me offside and I wasn't, if VAR had been around. But I'll come to VAR in a second. But I think it was just, I mean, it's just such a brilliant thing. to win.
Right, we'll move on now. We don't want to hear about yours, Micah.
We're not moving on because I want to ask Gazda, you've always said that he wasn't nervous. He wasn't nervous. So I'm guessing you played, just for the viewers and the listeners, was that the old Wembley? The FA Cup final?
It was at the old Wembley, yeah. It was at the old Wembley. And we came down the tunnel and Terry Venables walked out with Brian Clough at the front, and Brian Clough held Terry Venables' hand. I think he'd had a few. He needed to be stabilised walking out onto the pitch. And I remember talking to Terry, bless him, and him saying, you wait all that time to play an FA Cup final, and I'm walking out holding hands with the other manager.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, no, I didn't really get nervous. I was more excited, I think, when there was a big game. There was like a buzz, adrenaline rush. Yeah, obviously we went behind at halftime. We played really well in the first half. We battered them. And I missed that penalty and obviously had the goal disallowed. And then, I'm thinking, God, this would be a disaster, losing this and missing a penalty. But thankfully in the second half, we turned it around. Paul Stewart equalised. And then poor Des Walker, actually, it was an own goal from him in.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it was, what a great day. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing of that day as well was that Gaza, I mean, it was self-inflicted, obviously, but he did his cruise shirt. And we all took the cup to him in hospital. He was in the hospital and we did a detour and went to visit him.
Brilliant.
And he was in tears. But great memories. And these, I mean, this is a third round victory, but it will still be great memories for these guys. And I think particularly for the goal scorers, obviously it makes it very special. Paul Dawson, there was one. The other, what a fantastic name, Isaac Buckley Ricketts.
Well, those boys are going to be mentioned forever because those goals are never, ever going to be stopped being shown. Every single year, third round, you can see it coming out. And those boys every year, they're going to be mentioned, aren't they? Great for them.
But look at this. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but that's Alan on the gantry. Basically, I've got the TV of us in the studio. Just look at the word ugly fuckers. That's what Alan sent us before we were about to go on work. before we were about to go on air. You can't write it. He's brilliant.
He did write it. He typed it.
I was just, in those 5 or 10 minutes just before you come to me, I was just bored looking and listening to you lot. So I thought I'd take a snapshot and send it to you.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I loved it. I was chuckling, honestly.
Fantastic stuff. Elsewhere, as you said, you were both at the Tottenham Villa game. Villa's brilliant run continues, but for Spurs, tough times. They're on a really bad run now, and the fans have turned against them a little bit. And there was, in midweek we saw, didn't we? One or two of the players, Mickey van der Ven, confronting the crowd. Few ugly scenes at the end of this game, actually. I fear for them a bit at the moment, Spurs.
They were awful. I mean, the first 10 minutes, it was all right. But then after that, and then Villa got the goal, and then they're thinking, they just had no fight or anything about them. They had no one wanted to get on the ball. Xavi Simons, there was once in the first half where he sort of ran at defenders. But other than that, they just were void of ideas. They were, Spurs. Aston Villa were brilliant, by far the best team. Spurs booed off. But then, to be fair, Spurs did come out and have a right good go. Players then had a little bit of belief and confidence. Odegaard got the goal. But then you saw a different side to Aston Villa. They had to defend, and I thought they defended really, really well. But yeah, it's not a happy place in that stadium at the minute, you can tell. And yeah, it's worrying times for Thomas Frank, unfortunately.
If you look at, the players missing, I mean, Kulusevski, Maddison, Solanke, Kudus. I mean, any team losing probably their form, either creative or most potent goal scorers. I mean, it's going to be difficult. I mean, I know you can't make these excuses these days because they've got big squads and stuff, but that is a big miss for him.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there was a really good stat that I think Spurs have only had like 11 through balls in the final third, or defence splitting passes, I think it was. And Morgan Rogers had 14 on his own.
Yep.
And we take them 4 players out of the team. Obviously, Solanke, he's back now. you're going to be void of creating chances. I think the big thing I took from that game is that the players are still playing from the manager, because it could have been 3-4 in the second half. Like Alan said, they stuck to the task. I thought Xavi Simons was excellent. I think that's the best I've seen him in a Spurs, even though he was on the losing side. But he made things happen. And it was different. I was speaking with Danny Murphy, and he was saying, like, you know, he thought he'd be a player that could get on a number 10 and play them through balls and all that. But he's a dribbler. He's a winger and someone who can get on the ball on half turn and dribble through. And I think that's what he did in the game. I need to see more of that now.
You know, though, Micah, you say that. If you add up the cost of the forward line they had, Spurs, I know one of them's on loan. Mouani's on loan, isn't he, from PSG?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But if you add it up, Xavi Simons, Tell, Odobert, either Richarlison or Mouani, there's over 200 million quid's worth of transfer fees that have been paid out, you know.
It's a fair point. And the players who they've had available have not played to the best of their abilities. And that is the question mark. So do you blame that on, is that the club for buying the players? Is that the manager not being able to get the best out of them? I think maybe it's a little bit of both, but being there at the ground, and the question I wanted to ask you, because we was behind the glass at the top in the studio, was it loud? Was it loud boos?
Yeah.
They only seemed subtle to us in the studio.
It was loud at half time when they were going off. There was a lot of anger with the Spurs fans. And you actually, I feared for them, because if Villa had got a third goal early on, then it would have turned really toxic. But to be fair, and I mean, I don't know where this was to begin with, because the manager's under huge pressure, the players are under huge pressure. You would think that fight and that effort and that all of that they were missing in the first would have been there in the first half. Why does it take to be 2-0 down at half time and then all of a sudden come out and I want to fight and want to scrap?
I think that's more confidence, you know. So I've been in. You've probably not been in teams that struggle like that I did, but when I was at Villa, it was something like you didn't want to be the person to make the mistake, so you'd play within yourself, and then you go 2-0 down at half time, and it's okay. Well, we've got nothing to lose now. We can't get any worse. So you sort of playing within yourself and don't want to be that person to make a mistake. And that's how Spurs played in that first half. In the second half, it was like, come on. We might as well have a go now. And I totally agree with what you say now. They should do it from the start. But when you're struggling,
confidence,
you've not got that self-belief that you can make things happen. And that's what Spurs are at the moment.
Tell you what, I think their next game's West Ham. Next two league games, West Ham, Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, next game is West Ham. Wow, what a game. Whew.
Do you know how many games they've lost since the start of last season?
Go on.
37.
37 games, really? Wow.
In all comps, or is that it?
I presume it must be all comps, yeah. It's all comps. But I mean, that's an extraordinary statistic. And, you know, you've got,
unbelievable.
Obviously, they've had the issues with Ange Postecoglou, and then they've brought in Thomas Frank, and it's been largely the same. And yeah, they're probably bereft of confidence. They've had a lot of injuries over the last 18 months, more than their fair share. And probably the recruitment's not been quite right. You've seen one or two people speaking out. Yeah. Romero, of course, in midweek. I sense with Romero, because he signed a new contract, didn't he? Not that long ago, that they might have made him a few promises about players coming in, because, you know, for reason to do that sort of rant. It must be something along those lines, I would imagine. It's worrying times for Spurs. Not so worrying for Manchester City. Who would have thought they'd scored 10 goals and Haaland wouldn't get one?
But someone who did get one, Semenyo!
Yeah, straight in, goal and assist.
How good is Semenyo though, guys? Seriously.
He was excellent, wasn't he?
He's just got the finishing touch, hasn't he? That finishing, you know, when he goes through, how many times when you see wingers and they make the wrong decision at the wrong times and it can be frustrating, but Semenyo, he just has it. Even his goal against Spurs, wasn't it? The last minute, last goal for Bournemouth. When he got in that position there, you just think he's going to hit the target. His composure in the final third is just brilliant.
I think he's got the respect of the whole footballing world because of how he handled his move and what he did or what he didn't do.
Well, it was absolute example, wasn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the club as well, I would say, Bournemouth. And their supporters, they showed how it, should be. I know clubs like Bournemouth, and the same would apply to my team, Leicester. When a player really raises himself above that particular level of football club. We've had it in recent years with the likes of, obviously, Mahrez and Kante. And I think you sort of half expect them to go and play for bigger football clubs, even though obviously Leicester, it happened after they'd won the league and subsequently the FA Cup. But I think the way the whole thing was handled was refreshing.
Absolutely. Wherever he goes, around the country and playing at whatever ground, he'll have the respect of the football and fans because of how he handled that situation, which was superb.
He's the first player at Manchester City to score an assist on his debut since Micah.
That's Aguero.
Correct. Sergio Aguero, and he was all right.
Yeah. And his assist wasn't really a great assist. He just flicked it back over there. Yeah, but he'll take it. He scored 2 on his debut and an assist, didn't he?
Yeah, and actually a quick reminder on our new series that comes out every Wednesday. One of the players we're focusing on is actually Sergio Aguero, and that's out in a couple of weeks, I believe. So good memories for Micah on that particular one. I mean, it wasn't obviously City's biggest test. I felt a bit for Exeter because double figures is a bit humiliating.
Did we do the game last year, Micah, where they played Salford? Did they get 7 or 8 against Salford last year in the third round? Was it? I think as well. Was it?
Yeah, 6 or 7. I remember. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I remember.
I think we did that game at City as well. Yeah. So, yeah. They come to Newcastle on Tuesday night in the semi-final of the Carabao. And Newcastle.
I'll be doing that game.
You doing it?
I'll be doing that game. Yes.
I'll be there. Come up and say hello. We'll have a drink waiting for you.
I don't drink.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's off the pot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's off. He's off. Rodri's goal was tasty. Good to see him back playing again, actually, Rodri, because he's been out almost, on and off the last few months, but by and large for a year and a half. And it's great to see him back playing again. Let's hope he stays fit, because he's such a great footballer to watch.
We've talked about him so much, haven't we? Although I have to give a little shout out to Nico Gonzalez, because I actually think he's been doing really well in the absence of Rodri. But Rodri's back now, and I'd like to see him in midfield together, actually, because he's just, he's such a good player to watch. Intelligent player. And, for someone like that to get the Ballon d'Or, it normally wouldn't go to someone like that. So it just shows you how good he is.
Certainly does. Okay, let's take a break there. And when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other games, including your mob, Alan. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker, talking FA Cup. I suppose the big story of today, we're recording this on Sunday evening after all the games, was Manchester United losing again. And, I mean, they are going through a really tough time. This season, they will only play 40 games because they've gone out in the early rounds of both the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. They're not playing European football. They'll only play 40 games this season, which is the fewest that they've played since 1914-15 season, over 110 years ago.
It turns out it wasn't 5 at the back was the problem then, eh?
Did they play a 4 at the back?
Yes,
obviously,
they did,
I was working today, so I didn't see it. They played a 4 at the back, did they?
Terrible. It was Grimsby, wasn't it? Was it Grimsby that beat them in the Carabao? Something. I think it was Grimsby, yeah.
Penalty shootout.
Yeah, they weren't very good today. Tough times. Brighton were the better team. Danny Welbeck, a goal and assist.
Yep.
So, yeah, they are what they are, aren't they? What
was the atmosphere, Al? Was the atmosphere good? Obviously,
there's still a big crowd there. There's a lot of, it sounded pretty good. Obviously, they're getting a bit frustrated, but I think at Old Trafford they generally do back their team.
Yeah,
they don't turn on them too much. I think they're pretty good like that. Obviously, they've got problems. I mean, look, squad depth as well is not really there, but there was no lack of effort there. You could see that. And actually, in the first half, they they didn't play too badly. They had 1 or 2 opportunities. It was their final ball, really, that they missed 1 or 2 opportunities, but also the crossing wasn't quite right.
They're just not very good.
No, I think that's it. I just think at the moment.
I know why you're laughing there, but that is the truth. They're just not very good. I mean, the whole club, when you look at it, there's so many errors and mistakes and everything else. And I mean,
yeah, but I'm looking at here. Not really. They've got Mount, Fernandez, Cunha, and Sesko as your front 4. Like, it's good enough, isn't it?
Should be, but it isn't, is it? It's not. It's just not happy place at the minute. I mean, Fletcher's in there at the moment. What has he had? Burnley away and Brighton at home, and drew one of those. They've spoken to Michael Carrick and to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over the weekend, I gather, in terms of the interim, maybe till the end of the season. I mean, to
bring in an interim and then,
but how does everyone know what's going on?
Another interim.
Yeah, how does everyone know that they've been spoken to, these guys, and that's their plan? And it's like that in itself tells me there's issues. Is that? Why is everything getting out?
Everyone's protecting themselves. Even, with Chelsea, when Maresca left, everyone was getting out a statement or this, or you'd heard this, or whatever was going to come. Everyone just protecting themselves, aren't they?
Yeah. Anyway, they didn't deserve to go through. Brighton did. I thought they were the better team. So, yeah. They
were very good on the counter-attack as well, and could probably have had one or 2 more. It was good to see Kobbie Mainoo actually start a game, his first one since August. It'll take him a while to get up to speed because he's played so little football, but that might be of some encouragement. It was obviously it's not gone the way that Darren Fletcher would have wanted it to go over his couple of games in charge. Interestingly, he had his 2 twins. Yeah. His twins were on the bench. Yeah. And I was looking, because I had a look to see what their bench was like, and it's got Fletcher. And I knew they were twins, but alongside it, one's got a Scottish flag and one's got an English flag. I thought, how does that happen?
Amazing. I mean, I know the result went against them, but how proud must you be when the boys are involved at a club that size like that? It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on Manchester United over the coming weeks and sees what happens there. But Brighton go through. Quite a game at St James's Park.
Again, some unbelievable how what's happened to Newcastle over the last sort of few weeks, and how they keep sort of getting on the right side of results. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I'd obviously seen the goals and the penalty shootout and what have you, but because I was getting ready to go on the core comms, I was just following it on my phone or with text messages or whatever, or Rich was in my ear telling me Newcastle have scored last minute, oh no, it's equalised, oh it's gone to extra time, then it's gone to penalties, and it was crazy. Ramsdale with a couple of good saves on the penalty shootout, and they get through. Amazing.
The tone in Alan's voice changed when he knew Newcastle had won. It was staggering.
You do surprise me.
It was staggering.
Really? Could you tell?
I could tell straight away. I said to Rich, get on Al's voice now.
Harvey Barnes is
brilliant.
flying.
Wow, yeah, he's having a great time. He's in great form. He really is. I mean, his performance, his confidence, superb. It's really the only interesting talk about him, perhaps with Steve Clarke, and perhaps trying to get him to Scotland to go into the World Cup. Bloody hell! If he keeps playing the way he is, he might be in England's squad.
What do you think he'll do? He'll probably go Scotland though, because he'll probably play, won't he?
Oh, he'd definitely play for Scotland, wouldn't he?
If you go to England, there's loads lined up. Imagine that, playing the World Cup. You're out of it. Everyone thinks you're going to be, and then Scotland come knocking. And their fans are terrific, aren't they? So that'd be great for him.
Yeah, especially as now they're in the World Cup. It'd be a good chance for him to excel. Good start for Liam Rosenior, I thought. I think he's handled everything very well so far. I've been impressed with things I've seen on social media, with 1 or 2 lengthy interviews that he's given. He's exuded confidence, and the difficult thing will be obviously the coaching and when they lose games and stuff like that. But he clearly believes in himself, which is really important. He seems to have a presence, which is also really important when you go into a football club like Chelsea. He doesn't seem the slightest bit fazed by the challenge, and and a cracking start for him.
As a manager, whether you're young or whatever, it doesn't matter. You've got to go in and hopefully get a good start. And obviously, bigger tests he will face. Yeah. But good start. Great time to score. It was a few minutes before half time, I think, and a great finish. But yeah, they did everything right, got a good result, and again into the next round. So that'll do his team and him the world of good.
Well, we spoke about Rossini. I don't know if I said on the pod before, but I got a bone to pick with Rossini though. Because all back when I made my debut for England, 18 and 19, and I was in the team, he did an interview. I'm going to find the interview. He said something like, well, I see the people that are playing for England now, I don't think I'm that far away, suggesting he should be playing ahead of me. And I was like, what?
Well, he knows he's got a point,
Micah.
So then, but as a manager, and when I pull him up on when I'm doing BBC or Sky or CBS, whatever it may be, I'm going to ask him about that as well, because it stuck with me.
Lose 2 games, Micah, and you'll get your revenge.
But leaving me to the side, he's done. I totally agree with what you're saying, guys. I think the only worry, and it's not a worry, is what the Chelsea want from him. And if they're happy just being top 4 and challenging for Europa League or Champions League or whatever, winning maybe a Europa League if they don't get into the Champions League, I just want to know what the bigger plan is for Chelsea. And if their plan is to get top 4 and challenge for a trophy, I think he will do really well.
Yeah. Well, they're a young side, aren't they? They're only going to get better in time if you're given time. He's got a long contract, so they obviously, think good things about him. Was it 6.5 year contract or something like that? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure too many coaches make it to 6.5 years. 6.5 months is an achievement nowadays.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how long his contract is, because of if they want to get rid of them, they'll just get rid of him, I guess, and they'll pay him up for 12 months or whatever it may be, I guess. So, but I think we all know, Micah, what Chelsea demand.
Is that the old Chelsea or is it the new Chelsea?
It's Chelsea now. Is that they have to finish in the top with what they've spent.
Well, it was always difficult at Chelsea, even under the Abramovich era, wasn't it? For managers and coaches. I mean,
it was win or get fired, wasn't it? That's what it was. But now they've not got the. They're not better than Man City.
No.
They're not better than Liverpool, and they're not better than Arsenal. And Villa are creeping up there as well. So a realistic target is to challenge for top 4.
My worry for him is obviously the points that Maresca sort of made in terms of the interference about possible selections and who to bring on and that sort of stuff. If you're getting that from above, that is very, very difficult.
Yeah, let's see. It's one to keep an eye on. I mean, I hope he can do really well in it, because it's great for young English coaches as well, isn't it? That he's been given it a chance at a club like that. So I hope he does really well. Agreed.
I hope he does really well, and I think he will, as long as it's a realistic plan.
Me too. Anything else jump out at you there's lots of great results. Leicester won a game, blimey. Well, hey,
Leicester.
We're going to win it again, it's obvious. Yeah, not too bad. Mental penalty shootout, Everton, Sunderland.
Saw the penalties.
See that Everton missed all 3
Keeper saved them, didn't he? Sunderland roughs again.
Yeah.
He's had a great start to his career at Sunderland, he has.
My 4th team are still in it. Marching all together. Yep. 3-1 at Derby. Lovely jubblies. We'll have that.
Who's 1, 2 and 3 in the order?
Don't ask him that. It's Paymaster first.
I plead the 5th.
What's your 5th team? I want you 1, 2 and 3, not your 5th. I think it's been a cracking 3rd round, actually.
Brilliant.
The draw is, today, if you listen to this on Monday, I think it's before this evening's Liverpool's game. So we'll keep an eye out on the draw. But let's call a day there. We'll be back tomorrow with La Liga, where we'll be covering the Super Cup final, which is happening right now. And would you believe that Barcelona have just gone 3-2 ahead?
Oh, wow.
There's about 15 minutes to go in that game. A second goal for Rafinha.
On a feed.
What you got?
On a feed.
Okay, sorry. A second goal for Ruffy.
Yeah.
Okay. And our next episode of Premier League Greats, The Moments That Made Them, is back on Wednesday, and it's with a certain David Beckham, or should I say Sir David Beckham. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a great week, everyone.